Iran was ousted from the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women for policies contrary to the rights of women and girls. The move was proposed by the United States after Tehran's brutal crackdown on protests, sparked by the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who was arrested by morality police enforcing the Islamic Republic's mandatory dress code and died in custody.
The Iranian government wants nothing more than to wiggle its way out of this vote, to use misinformation and procedural tricks to obscure the truth and avoid accountability. But today, I urge you to keep this simple. We have Iranian women and activists here in the room with us right now. Let's do right by them. Let's do right by women and girls around the world.
Israel supported the motion, and UN Ambassador Gilad Erdan compared Iran to history's worst regime.
The regime in Iran represents the embodiment of evil, just as Hitler's Nazi regime represented the embodiment of evil. The Iranian Ayatollahs are already responsible for the destruction of 4 Middle Eastern countries. They supply suicide drones for the murder of innocent Ukrainians. They attack the cyber infrastructure of Albania. They murder innocent Kurds in Iraq. They endanger global maritime trade routes. And they publicly threaten another member states of the UN with annihilation.
The 54-member UN Economic and Social Council adopted the resolution to remove Iran for the remainder of its 2022-2026 term. 29 voted in favor, 8 against, and there were 16 abstentions. The U.S. ambassador spoke of the vote's meaning.
So today we came together at the United Nations and stood with Iranian women, Iranian girls, and the Iranian people. Following the death of Mahsa Amini, tens of thousands of Iranians said, enough is enough. The people have taken to the streets and made their voices heard. They're standing for women, for life, and for freedom. The Iranian government has responded with brutality and with violence.
Meanwhile, in Iran, a second public hanging in less than a week, this time of a man convicted of killing 2 members of the security forces during the protests. Amnesty International says authorities are seeking the death penalty for at least 21 people in what it called sham trials. The demonstrations have turned into a popular revolt by furious Iranians from all layers of society, posing one of the most significant legitimacy challenges to the Shiite clerical elite since the 1979 Islamic Revolution.